I told my mom why none of her 5 boys have given her grandkids. Mom cornered me at Thanksgiving, wine glass in hand, voice getting louder with each word. 5 sons, 5, and not 1 grandchild. Your cousins have given their parents 8 grandkids between them. My brothers shifted uncomfortably. We all knew this speech, heard it at every holiday, birthday, family gathering. Maybe we're all just focused on our careers, my oldest brother Kyle offered weakly. Careers? Mom laughed bitterly. I had a career and 3 kids by 30. Times are different, my brother Pete tried. Different? Love isn't different. Family isn't different. You're all just selfish. That's when I snapped. 5 brothers, and I was the only daughter-in-law at this table, married to her youngest son. I'd watched this show for 10 years. You want to know why none of your sons have given you grandkids? I said. The room went silent. Babe, don't, my husband Theo whispered, but I was done. Kyle got a vasectomy at 28. Never told you. Kyle's fork clattered to his plate. Pete and his wife have been trying for 5 years. 3 miscarriages. They didn't tell you because you said their first one was God's way of saying they weren't ready. Pete's wife started crying. Nathan's gay. Has been with his partner for 7 years. Doesn't bring him to family events because you still call it a phase. Nathan stared at his plate. Jordan doesn't want kids because he's terrified he'll parent like you did. Jordan nodded slowly. And Theo and I, we've been in therapy for 2 years trying to decide if we can raise kids without repeating the patterns you created. Mom's face went from red to white. What patterns? I was a good mother. You were controlling. Kyle said quietly. Nothing was ever good enough. You picked our careers, Pete added. Our colleges. Even tried to pick our wives. You guilt trip us constantly, Nathan said. About everything. You made us compete for your approval, Jordan continued. And whoever was winning that week got affection. The rest got criticism, Theo finished. Mom was shaking. I sacrificed everything for you boys. And you remind us daily, I said. That's not love. That's manipulation. How dare you? You want to know why your sons don't have kids? Look at how you treated them. Kyle was never smart enough. Pete was never athletic enough. Nathan was never masculine enough. Jordan was never ambitious enough. Theo was never responsible enough. I stood up. 5 boys who grew up thinking they were never enough don't usually rush to create more people to disappoint. The silence was deafening. Mom looked around the table at her sons. Is this true? All of you feel this way? One by one, they nodded. We love you, Mom, Kyle said, but you hurt us. Constantly. Still do. Every conversation becomes about our failures, Pete added. You compare us to each other, to cousins, to your friends' kids, Nathan said. Nothing we achieve is celebrated without a, but you could do better, Jordan continued. We're exhausted, Theo concluded. All of us. Mom set down her wine glass with trembling hands. I just wanted you to succeed. We did succeed, Kyle said. Just not in ways you value. I wanted grandkids, she whispered. More than you wanted happy sons? I asked. She couldn't answer. That was 3 months ago. Mom started therapy after that dinner. She's learning about narcissistic parenting patterns, generational trauma, the difference between love and control. Last week, she called each son individually, not to guilt them, but to apologize. Real apologies. Specific ones. Nathan brought his partner to Sunday dinner last month. Mom used his correct name and pronouns without being reminded. Pete's wife felt comfortable enough to share their trying IVF. Mom listened without offering advice or judgment. Kyle told her about his vasectomy reversal consultation, not because he was pressured, but because he's considering it now that Mom's working on herself. Jordan started dating someone, brought her to meet Mom without terror in his eyes. Theo and I, we're still in therapy, but for the first time, we're talking about kids as a possibility, not a threat. Change doesn't happen overnight. Mom still slips into old patterns, but she catches herself now, apologizes, tries again. 5 sons without grandkids wasn't about this generation being selfish. It was about the previous generation being blind to the damage they caused. Sometimes the truth hurts, but silence hurts more, and sometimes breaking that silence is the only way to heal.